talking the same shit.
Hey, man, you got to take that. Listen.
Let me talk.
I don't want to talk. I'm through talking. It's your turn to do the song.
That's
what
right.
Gonna
That's
do?
right. That's right.
Are we gonna do some music?
I tell you what, my nigga. I tell you what. It go like this. When I extended the invitation, I did it as a real man. You feel me? Because I
told you straight off the dribble. I told you off the dribble, nigga. We can't do nothing if it ain't street. If I can't perform the truth, we can't do it.
It's all good. But let me say my piece. Let me say my piece.
Take off.
Let me say my piece. It's like this, bro. I extended my hand because I'm a real man. And the shit we came from in the street, dog, you seen it, we've been through it, dog. 20 years. 20 years. And when I said I wanted to do this shit for the culture, that's what I wanted to do, nigga. I brought you here to show you the world care about what the fuck we got going on, because we are the culture. You feel me? Me and you. Where we came from. What we been through, nigga. Us. Me and you. All these kids out here doing what the fuck.
All right, so the versus battle between Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane was absolutely epic. It was amazing. It was for the culture. It would go down in hip hop history. I felt like I was at the club. Like, it was everything. And this is the second versus battle where you have had two rappers that have come together who have had beefs previously, and they put matters aside to, celebrate the culture, their hits, their catalog, and their career. And so first you had Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, who had their issues early on, but again, they put matters aside, celebrated and represented Jamaica, and they set it off. And so now you had Gucci Mane and Jeezy, who put their 20-year beef aside for the most part and said, hey, yo, look, we're going to come together, we're going to battle, we're going to have a good time, we'll squash whatever. Because, their beef was really intense. Like, a life got lost in the midst of everything that they had going on. So it was really crazy. So it was good to see them in a room together. But, you had the scene, and you had the issue where, Gucci Mane, was feeling some type of way. Here he is in a new body, and he's speaking like he was in the old body. Okay? Because, we're not going to deny the fact that Gucci Mane has grown as a person. Because y'all know how Gucci Mane used to be. He was wild. But, he cleaned up after he got out of jail. He lost the weight, started eating better. Teeth was looking good, skin looking good. Got him a beautiful wife. He cursed her out on Twitter one time. I think this was before they got, married. But y'all, Gucci Mane has come a long way. But he still ain't there, but he got some work to do. We all got some work to do. And when Gucci Mane was like, yo, you told me off the dribble that I could have done my diss song Truth. Okay. Look, Young Jeezy was like, look, I extended the olive branch to you. Don't cut up on me. Because, these young kids looking at us, hip hop fans looking at us, and we don't need these problems right now. What's good? Young Jeezy said he's doing this for King Von, MO3, Nipsey Hussle, Pop Smoke. Like, we thinking about them and the fact that they died because of gun violence within the community. So why we following up with the foolishness? Now, come on now. And then the song played. And then, I didn't know whether I was supposed to hit the deck or what. Because Young Jeezy was not playing with Gucci. Like, bro, we about to start something else now. Like, come
on. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, man, listen. All respect. I appreciate you for throwing out the olive branch. I accept that. No disrespect. It's all love.
Love, my nigga. Let's get it. A-Town. That's what it is, baby. 20 years, nigga. 20 years, nigga.
Hey, Holiday.
Hey.
20 years, nigga.
I salute you, Holiday.
Tell Jezzy and Nas they better watch out.
Salute the Guwak, man. Shout to my brother Big Snow.
I watched the Breakfast Club interview that was done today after the Versus battle. And Charlamagne the God asked a very thought-provoking question. He said, basically, for lack of better words, like, could you put yourself in Gucci Mane's shoes? And that question was asked for, Young Jeezy to explore the fact that, Gucci Mane is growing as a person, but he also has his traumas and his issues that he's dealing with. And, he's grown, but he still has some more growing to do. And so if Young Jeezy is, much more self-aware and more understanding of the situation, he's grown much more, he basically has to understand that in order for them to meet each other halfway. Young Jeezy has to understand that Gucci Mane is who he is. So by putting himself in his shoes, he can be like, okay, he's going to be talking like this. I got it. Let me adapt to it. Don't take no BS, but just understand who Gucci Mane is and where he's coming from and what his level of growth is and how you need to adjust. So I thought that was a really good question. But Young Jeezy, you know, he still wanted all the smoke. But you know, at the same time, he had to back down. There's just a lot going on, a lot of emotions going on, y'all. But look, the thrones for the Verzuz battle was absolutely amazing. Okay, Verzuz is getting money out here. They did the Verzuz battle at Magic City, which I thought was good. Okay, Magic City where the strippers be. You know, they started off the Verzuz with Stacy Abrams coming through with a message saying, hey, you know, anybody in Georgia, please make sure that you vote for the runoff. And I mean, it makes all bit of sense. Like if you have a large platform or, you know, you're able to put medicine in the candy, like why not get, you know, someone to come through and spread the message to say, hey, you know, something's going on. I need you guys to be a part of this movement. And, you know, Stacy Abrams has been doing the work, getting all those people to vote. Okay. So kudos to her. And I thought that was effective because, you know, Kamala Harris came through before she became vice president elect. And she was on the beginning of the Brandy and Monica versus battle, if y'all remember. So Kamala Harris and Stacey Abrams, that makes all bit of sense. They blessed the scene. So shout out to those two ladies. But moving on, you know, I'm going to say that I am a Young Jeezy fan. And I might sound biased, but I believe that he won this Verzuz. You know, Gucci Mane played a lot of B-side tracks. Gucci, what are you doing, bruh? Like, how you coming back after Trap or Die with this? Or like, you know, Young Jeezy plays Who Dat, but you coming back with this? You know, I'm just like, dang, man. But Young Jeezy played some good hits. He was playing a lot of his hits, a lot of his radio hits, and that's the thing, man. He had the place jumping, I believe. You know, but I was going down memory lane, like listening to Young Jeezy's songs, and it made me think about his album, The Recession, which came out in 2008. And that album came out during a time when we were in a recession here in the United States. And see, you know, it just reminds me that like there are artists that don't put out conceptual albums, because that was a conceptual album. It reflected the time that we were in, and that's important. And like, you know, just in growing up, man, just listening to albums that had a theme and had direction, like it made all bit of sense, and those albums felt good, you know, because you knew where the artist was going at. Like another artist, like I want to highlight is Busta Rhymes, and I love Busta Rhymes, by the way. And he put out Extinction Level Event. Sorry, back in 1998. And I loved that album, but that album was conceptual. It had direction, because it came out during a time when like everybody was like frantic. You know, they're like, oh, this is Y2K. It's going to take over. It's going to, you know, shut down all the computers. The world's going to shut down. Like everybody was like all scared and frantic. And like his album was based off of that time period of how we felt. So just like the recession was based off of the time period and how we felt and everything that we were going through as a country. And like ironically, you know, years later, after putting out those albums, they put out the second version of those albums. So Busta Rhymes put out Extinction Level Event in 1998, and then over 20 years later, he put out Extinction Level Event 2. And so then like Young Jeezy puts out Recession in 2008, and then like fast forward to 2020, he puts out Recession 2. And those albums in a sense reflect the times that are going out now, like the times that are going on right now, like what's happening or whatever. Like for instance, like with Young Jeezy, like, you know, the recession can reflect what we are experiencing in a sense, like right now at this moment in 2020. Extinction Level Event 2, like we're not going through a Y2K situation, but we're going through something that has basically put us in a new normal, and a lot of things have stopped or been modified. Back then people were scared, but things didn't stop like it stopped or was affected now, you know? So I just wanted to make that point. But, you know, I'm glad that Gucci Mane played, you know, Freaky Girl and Bricks, and, you know, he threw Fly in there. That's a song that he did with, like, Bruno Mars or whatever. You know, I'm glad he plays songs like that, but, you know, I wish he would have came back with some heavy hitters after Young Jeezy played, you know, certain songs, but it's all good. Now, y'all, the internet is wild. Okay, they said Jeannie Mai doesn't know any of the words to Jeezy's songs. And let me tell you something. I would imagine that's her husband, well, her soon-to-be husband. And she lived with the man. She got to know some lyrics from Trap or Die, okay? Welcome back. Just because she Asian don't mean she don't know the lyrics. Like, come on, y'all. Be nice. And you had Keyshia Kior, that's Gucci Mane's wife. And I really like her. She is poised and feminine, and she takes care of herself. And, you know, she helped to get Gucci Mane on track. And did I mention that he cursed her out on Twitter just before they got married? I did. But you know what? We all have our issues in our relationships, right? So, anyway, y'all, this versus battle was everything, you know, with them being, you know, in the versus battle, and, you know, them having that little issue in that scene or whatnot. That's just working their problems out loud in front of everybody. These things happen. You know, you're not always going to have a situation where you got people that's beefing and then they come in front of everybody and boom, everything is, you know, like perfect. You know, like, it's not going to happen. Like, when I was watching Brandy and Monica, like, I could feel the tension a little bit. You know, Monica just was sitting there like, okay, let's get these songs over with so I can go. Okay. And Brandy, you know, she wanted to bring her journal and stuff. It's just like, I just felt the tension because, you know, they threw hands or whatever, or they was in a fight or whatnot, like years ago, you know, backstage before they went out for a performance. So, you know, that's just divas. You know, that's how the girls are. But, you know, again, you're not always going to have a perfect situation when it comes to artists that were beefing and then they end up in the same space together. So I'm glad the universe worked it out where, you know, it wasn't T.I. and Jeezy. It was Gucci Mane and Jeezy. Because if it was T.I. and Jeezy, like, Gucci Mane and Jeezy wouldn't have been able to, like, you know, hash out and squash, for the most part, whatever issues they were going through. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the universe worked that out. I wonder who T.I. is going to be in a versus with. Because, I mean, you know, they scooted him out and put Gucci Mane in. But, like, T.I. has got to go against somebody. And they were saying, like, Busta Rhymes or whatnot. And that's two different eras. But we shall see. So I'm looking forward to, like, the next verses and what's going to take place. Like, I'm loving this, like, whole flow of what they're doing for the verses. Like, it's amazing. It's for the culture. And I'm also glad that they have the artists in the same room now, because, like, when they started doing the versus battles, like, you know, it was like okay, I'm joining you live and then everybody's coming to watch. And see, it's all a part of the process, and that changing to everybody being in the same room. Because, I mean, look at, like, Babyface and Teddy Riley. Like, that was a train wreck, like, on the first try. And then on the second try, like, they still had issues. But when Bounty Killer and Beanie Man came together, it was like, okay, this makes sense. Put everybody in the same room and it works. And then the energy feels different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all works out better. So, guys, tell me how you felt about this versus battle. How did you feel when, you know, Young Jeezy wanted all the smoke, but he had to keep it cute for you guys? All right, y'all take care.